Need to find the old guy and take him over to start talking to everybody. There he is. Ah, nope, come back. Old man. Old man. Gotcha. And what's his secret power? Oh yeah, he calls the cat. Hey sunshine. Meow. Pet the cat. Purr. Alright, how well do you know the captain and what do you think of her? I didn't know her. She was a stranger to me. She was nice enough, polite. Yes, but what did you think of her? I don't know. I don't know why you're asking either. She was distant. She seemed nice, but was distracted, worried about something. What makes you say that? I don't know. Maybe nothing. It was just the feeling around her. You make it sound very ominous. I guess it seems that way now. I wonder sometimes if she knew, if she felt it. How did you feel around her? Why do you ask? You seem a bit easy to fright. I just wonder if you were threatened by her. I don't know what you're talking about. She seemed nice, that's all. She was nice. You seem to have a high sense of intuition. I don't know about that. I'm not sure what it is you want to know, but I don't think I can help you. Sorry. Donovan! Time for you to tell me to F off. What brought you on board this ship? From what I can tell, that's no concern of yours. You're right, but there's been a disappearance on this ship and everyone is a suspect. And you're the one who's going to get the bottom of it, is that right? I'm not going to stick around and humor your pointless questions. Knew it, he was going to be a D-bag. What's the harm in telling me? Surely there's nothing to hide. No harm and no benefit either. But if you insist, I'm traveling to meet an old friend of mine. Now I have things to do. He seems like walking around the ship a lot. There's not much else to do on a ship like this. You're not looking for something or someone? Of course not. What is there to look for on this teacup? It's almost like you're keeping tabs on things around here. I see you're trying to play detective. Maybe you're suspicious of everyone or everyone won't think... Maybe if you're suspicious of everyone, everyone won't think to be suspicious of you. Maybe. Who knows? So we need to talk to Alton and Quella and the first mate. How do you like being the first mate? Why, I like it just fine. Being at sea, being entrusted the care of the ship is as fine as this. Is there anything greater? I imagine being the captain would be a step up. Perhaps the captain does have more responsibility and control over the ship, but everything in due course, as I say. We are given responsibilities only according to our abilities. Someday I'd like to be a captain, but until then I am content as I am. You haven't thought about accelerating your... Smooth, buddy. Smooth, Garv. I hope you're not implying what I think you are. Perhaps the subordinate usually benefits from the superior's absence, but sailing is a collaborative enterprise. I would wish no harm upon the captain for something as petty as title. In fact, the thought thoroughly repulses me. I am repulsed. Oh, what made you want to be a sailor? What makes a fish want to swim? What makes a bird want to fly? What makes a skunk want to expel odorous gases? It is in my bones, as simple as that. I have yearned for a great big blue as far as I can remember. If you're looking for a baser, lesser motivation, you are searching in vain, my friend. So he just wanted to become a sailor. Alright, Alton, talking to you now. What made you want to take the job on this ship? Well, it's hard to say. I guess I just wanted to get out and travel a bit before settling into a real career. You get into a desk job and never escape, you know. But does this really challenge you? People should have work they are passionate about. I mean, I like music, so playing music here is kind of a passion. It's strange how low expectations here are, though. The previous captain didn't bother with me or check on me at all. I don't really know why I was hired. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to belittle that kind of... I mean, I'm sure every job is different and can be fulfilling to two different people. I'm just afraid I'll grow roots and get stuck somewhere. What are your plans after this, career-wise? Geez, career-wise? I don't really know. I've been taking things step by step so far. I guess I'm not sure what career I want even. Am I getting to the point where I should be figuring that stuff out? I don't know. So eventually we need to get Alton a job. I feel like we're playing like the game of life. Alright. What brought you aboard this ship? I wanted to get away for a while. Get away from what? Away from home, away from work, away from some memories. Away from everything, actually. But why here specifically? Because it's the last place anyone would come looking for me. And why are people looking for you? I didn't exactly say people were looking for me, but nice try. When people notice I'm gone, and if they decide to look for me, they wouldn't think of this place. That's all I meant. What are your thoughts on the captain's disappearance? I don't have any thoughts on it. It's terrible. There's nothing I can do about it. That's the world I find myself in. What about justice? What about the truth? I already know the truth, and that there is no justice. I should know. I'm a lawyer. Nothing will bring her back. And knowing the truth is one thing, but making sense of it is another. Do you have any ideas who did it, or why? To be honest, we don't even know if someone did anything. Why are we ruling out suicide? But to answer your question, assuming it was murder, I have absolutely no idea who the culprit would be. He makes a good point. We could have thrown ourselves off the ship. Are you happy here? How are wages? Criminal. Wages are criminal. Let's just leave it at that. On a related note, thanks for the tips. Anything helps. How much do you think the others take or make? I can only guess. Marcurio probably makes about as much as me. Alton, for whatever reason, makes actual money. Maybe because they think he's got other options. It's not fair, but there you go. Have you ever wondered what the captain makes, or made? Are you trying to imply something? Oh, of course I've wondered how much she made. Obviously it had to be more than the rest of us. Same goes for that strange first mate. But I'm sure it's all still modest money. Nothing I'd do anything dumb over. Seems like you're bitter over it. Well, yeah, you would be too. I don't even know what Alton or Ferdinand are doing most of the time. I don't think anyone knows either. Any idiot can tell things are screwed up here. Wait, was there more that I could have picked? Oh, do you have any other alternate form of revenue? Alternate forms? I'm not sure what you mean. There's tips, I guess. Other than that, I can't say I have any other source of income. What kind of things does an employee keep? Huh. That's a strange question, to say the least. It is, a little bit. It took me kind of by surprise. Regular employees don't have much extra access to the ship. Only the captain and first mate are given access to all utility rooms and compartments. We're given keys that correspond to our responsibilities on the ship and nothing else. You wouldn't have access to the cabinets in the pilot house, though, would you? Well, sure, that's where returned keys are placed, so we all need access to them. Otherwise, how could we hand back keys to the ship? What does that mean for the other employees? You are really interested in this, aren't you? Well, whatever. Marcurio gets access to the kitchen supplies and food. Alton gets access to electronics and so on. Ferdinand has access to pretty much all utility closets and whatever else doesn't belong to the passengers. I get nothing special just because I'm just the waitress. Satisfied? Well, what made you decide to come out here on this boat? Well, trying to finish writing a book. I wanted to go to some place I wouldn't have any distractions, someplace new. This seemed like it fit perfectly well. You could have gone anywhere. Why this boat specifically? I don't think I can give you a satisfying answer. There wasn't much of a reason to it. Biggest reason is that this was cheap. I don't have much travel money as it is. And what will you do when we land? Find the cheapest lodging I can and keep pounding out pages, basically. If I get sick of the place, I'll move. Eventually, I'll head back home. But yeah, those are my grand plans as such. Most people have a solid reason for being here, except you. Wow, is that a suspicion I'm hearing? Yes, I'm a bit of a drifter. Some people are that way. It doesn't mean anything. If I had an ulterior motives for being here, I probably would have come up with a better story, you know? Maybe. And now we need to ask about What do you think about the captain's situation? You mean her being dead? It's pretty bad. If Marcurio is right, that is, if she went overboard, we wouldn't be able to find her, find the cause of death, or the murder weapon, or anything. We can look for motivation amongst the passengers. You're right, problem is I don't really see it. From what I've heard, the captain was brand new here, no one really knew her. I don't think she had much time to give people a reason to kill her. Someone must have had means and opportunity. Wouldn't that be all of us? If we don't even know exactly when she disappeared or how she was attacked, if at all, how can we narrow it down? You're not looking at the big picture here. Why now? There must be something larger going on. What are you saying? You think she was targeted? If it was premeditated, it would have to be someone. I don't know why that sounds weird on my tongue. That whole thing right there, it sounds weird on my tongue. Would have to be someone who knew her prior to her even coming aboard. The timing and placement is very ideal. Do you think it's a coincidence? I don't know. I never thought about it that way. It's true, we don't know anything about what happened. If someone wanted the captain gone, they did a great job covering their tracks. But it still doesn't answer the question, why? But premeditation and targeting are different things entirely. What are you saying? A murder was planned, but the captain wasn't being targeted? That would mean someone here... That's too dreadful to consider. I hope that's not true. We have Super Sleuth Garv. How's your pay? Are you happy here? Pay's not good, but I manage. Working here has its advantages. The lack of passengers here means I often have the kitchen all to myself. I may still be on work hours, but I have time to do my own stuff, study, practice. At least as far as our meager supplies and ingredients allow me to. You haven't thought of another job? What are you, offering me a job or something? Unless you own a restaurant, I'm not interested. Sure, I'd like to get out of here and work somewhere classier, but that's easier said than done. You've never thought about forcing the issue of a raise to the captain? What exactly are you getting at? I'm not crazy about my pay, but that's not a secondary concern to me. I would never do anything stupid just for cash. Everyone has their price. Maybe, but mine is pretty high. What was your opinion of the captain? Honestly, she seemed a little clueless about how the ship works, sure, but also about everything in general. She had some weird ideas about how to improve the ship that were just strange. Not sure why someone so bright-eyed became captain of a shit pile like this in the first place. Weird ideas? What would you say they were? Ideas that had to be stopped? I hope you're trying to be funny with that veiled accusation. It's not like I ever cared one way or the other about her stupid ideas. In fact, if they worked, which they weren't going to, it would only benefit me. But no kind of management can make this an actual successful cruise ship. You don't seem very cut up about her disappearance. Hey, I feel bad about this situation, everyone does. But making a show of it doesn't help anyone, least of all the captain. It's also not like I can do anything about it. I'm not a cop and I don't solve murders. I'm just the cook. You're just going to keep your head down and wait things out. Smart. Yeah, that's right. I wouldn't have expected a geezer like you to understand that. I've seen people die for having the wrong friends or stick up for the wrong reasons. I learned a long time ago to mind my own damn business. There's no point in acting like a hero. I'm just trying to do my job here. I can take over too many people. So I'm guessing Garv sounds like he used to be some sort of cop or something. So now we can take over Marcurio and, like I'm sure we've done with everybody else, ask a ton of questions. Now what? Whoa! Whoa, what is this? Open the fridge. Looks like nothing's been tampered with. Good. Left door drawers. and jars of spoilable content. There are some gaps where it seems items used to be. The sheriff smells of alcohol. When you lean in closer, the odor is quite powerful. Contains sorts of dairies and beverages. There's not much noteworthy about it. Main shelves, jam-packed with all sorts of foodstuffs. It oddly manages to be extremely tidy despite this. There's a curious number of empty plastic bags, however, some of the food has been used up way before expiration. Can he sense, like, spills or something? There's some trash in here, what a surprise. Or are those, like... I don't understand what his power is. Alright. Oh my gosh, there's so much talking we can do. Okay. Things aren't so great between you and Alton now, huh? Nope. You bring him down easy? I guess not. Things kind of... Well, there's nothing I can do about it now. Nothing else to say? Sorry, don't really want to get into all that right now. So what's your plan to get off the... Well, what's your plan to get off this piece of scrap again? I guess I'm figuring it out as I go. Saving up money for a ticket out of here would be tricky, and getting another job is near impossible. Man, this guy's music's so good! I'm digging it. I might have to strike some kind of deal if I can. I don't like the sound of that. Well, that's not saying a lot coming from you, no offense. Look, I can handle myself, alright? I always look before I leave. What kind of deal? I don't know. Bribery? I'd do blackmail if I could find a hook. I'm not there yet, but I think I'm getting close. Blackmail? You must have a death wish. It would never work. Maybe you're right. Maybe not. But if it was the only shot I had left, I'd probably take it. So how'd you get stuck on this ship anyway? You've never asked me about that before. Why now? Because I want to know now. That's your reason? Really? Sorry, if that's all it is, I'd rather not get into my history. I'd kind of like to know who I'm working with here. I could say the same to you, but I keep my questions about you while you're here to myself. We trust each other, right? Those things aren't important. Why does everybody walk so damn slow? I don't see you around very often. Yeah, I guess not. I spend a lot of my time in my room writing for my book. My work doesn't really allow for much socializing, unfortunately. Writing a book, that takes a lot of discipline. I'm impressed. Ah, thanks. I'm not so sure about that. I think anyone can write a book, or part of one anyway. What takes discipline is actually finishing it. Wait until I've actually published the book before you praise me. You ever sold a book before, or is this for your first shot? My first time, so yeah, it's kind of amateur hour. I'm learning things as they go. I know the odds are against it actually turning a profit, but I'm not so interested in that. I really just want to leave something behind, you know? Before I'm rotting in the ground and all. Most people around here are just sort of wandering around. You have an actual ambition, I respect that. Thanks. Sometimes I have my doubts if it's worth it, or so it feels good to hear that. Though I wouldn't discount some of the other people around here too quickly. Everyone has their own path. Some people find their calling sooner than others, that's all. Kind of a morbid way to put it. I'm not the one that's morbid. Life is morbid. I don't think there's anything wrong with talking about death. We should all talk about it more. It's natural, and what's more, it happens all the time. What do you make of this whole mess? You mean the captain's disappearance? I don't know. I'm no detective, but things don't seem right here. More than the captain's disappearance, everything is a bit off. Got any theories you want to share? Theories? I don't know. I wonder if somebody knew the captain before they boarded the ship. But wouldn't she have known them? Maybe it was someone in disguise? That sounds stupid. I don't know what I'm talking about. Doesn't sound completely implausible. You think so? Assuming that were the case for a second, it would mean someone here has a fake identity. The police could figure out who's real and who isn't, but they aren't here. So I don't know what to do with that theory anyway. There isn't any evidence for that. Yeah, you're right. In fact, I don't think that there's any evidence for anything. She disappeared overnight without any trace whatsoever. Where can you go with that? Seems you like chatting up the passengers a lot. Despite my shut-in behavior, I'm a really people person. I like learning about people and what makes them tick, even the bad ones. I see. Just make sure that curiosity doesn't get you in trouble. What's that supposed to mean? It means take care of yourself, that's all. I think people are boring idiots, most of the people at least. I'm not going to argue with you about the idiots part, I suppose, in some cases. But everyone has a rhyme and a reason, a deeper motivation, even if it's not the one you share or agree with. Finding out what that is never gets boring to me. Oh, crap. No, stop it. Stop it. There. And when we come back, we will keep talking with Marcurio to everybody, which hopefully doesn't unlock anything. Well, then we can fully take over Quella and Zhu. So that may lead to something. But till then, you all take care. And of course, have a good one.